Hello everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Bite. My name is Rubilina. It's a pleasure to be back again after however many weeks away. What is it now? Whatever. We're back, that's what matters. We're back for episode 10. Hello again. Yeah, let's just leap into it. We have quite a few people here tonight, so I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves.
I'll go first. I'm Cat and Fodder RX. I'm obviously the main guy here who's doing this all, but Ruby's our lovely host for the evening. But hello, everyone.
Lovely host for the evening, probably for the last time for quite a while.
Yes, because that's true. Geo is back as of probably next episode.
Right.
Are you starting?
Yeah,
yes.
So introduce yourselves.
Started.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone else go first. I'm terrible at this.
Brain just does intro.
Brain, I volunteer you as tribute. Go.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm the Disney Brain. I do lots of YouTube videos on mostly Ranger stuff, but a little more Sentai these days, so yeah.
Hooray!
Can you give me 1 sec? I need to address something. Delta God 77, why are we all talking as if it's the Discord? Because A, it kind of is, and B, why not? Alright, go on. Sorry. Had to address that.
Well, I guess Brain's done, so I guess I'll go.
Yeah. Go on, Hammer.
I am Hammermeister 1999. I am a mod on Brain's server for some weird reason. I'm not sure how that happened. I'm still stuck in this basement, goddammit.
Oops.
Not sure how that happened.
Is Mage there?
Oh, right. We forgot the key.
No, she's gone. She's gone. Thank God.
Yeah, we gave all the keys.
She's
and
gone.
as you can
She's
see,
gone because Karn threatened to sue if we brought her up again. So.
That's very
Rain, what
true.
the fuck have you brought to this chat?
He's
How
brought
dare
Delta.
you?
That's what he's brought.
No, he brought What's Up Gamers. Oh no.
Oh no!
No!
Yeah, we did
Alright,
give
that's it.
Aw the key to the basement, and as you can see, Aw is MIA. So yeah.
Yeah, we
He
also have
disappeared.
Randy
We
here
can't
this
find him.
evening, so...
Hi, I'm Randy.
That's
I make
Randy.
YouTube videos. I also stream. Did you know my next YouTube video will feature images from... Sorry, that's too inappropriate. Never mind.
Never mind.
No, we're not a Christian channel. We're not a Christian channel. Go ahead.
I have cropped Rule 34 images in my next video that I've been working on.
Right.
Spicy.
I mean we do have a
Gotta get
not
that
suited for work
Yeah.
section on the server, so
So,
The homework folder needs to come back.
No,
Subscribe to my
now it's
YouTube
Brain's domain.
alright.
Brain, we still need to bring back the homework folder. on your
Subscribe to
server,
Squall
that's
Charleston
thing.
and
Yeah.
the Disney Brain.
Like and subscribe.
Like
If
and
that
subscribe and
crossover
bye, that's all we have for you tonight.
If that crossover ever happens, I can only be so
Roll the
right.
outro! No, in all seriousness, this has been a long time coming. We tried to give it at least 2 weeks, but that ended up going a lot further than we wanted to. So,
Initially we. Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just
I was
gonna
gonna
say,
say something.
we're covering Beast Morphers. We're
Yeah.
talking about
Initially it was just gonna be initially it was gonna be just the first episode, and then it was gonna be the first 2 episodes, and then
yeah, just
so on.
Yep.
And
So we're just doing likes, dislikes,
Here we are.
general thoughts.
It's
what
fi-
might
and it's
not
5
be good
episodes
enough.
in.
I'm personally going to be keeping an eye on chat just to fill guys in as we go, and just make sure we have an open discussion about it. A reminder that everything stated here is our feelings, so don't attack us over them. We're happy to have discussions through the chat. So,
RPM fucking sucks.
oof.
I'm joking. No one killed me.
Oof.
Taking out his
The fanboy in me is dying already. That's my favorite season.
Launcher is better.
You did not just
Oh no!
It's already went off the deep end. I can't
Engine
control
Sentai,
this
go
anymore.
away!
Hammer is never getting out of the basement now.
Don't make me mute you
Engine
all.
Sentai, go away. I cannot stand Goandra, I'm sorry. like it, you're fine. If you like it, I'm fine with that opinion.
I will say, because I also think this is going to be Hammer's view. Morphers. I am coming from Beast Morphers as a very big Go Busters fan.
I am too.
But I still like it.
Oh no, I like it too. I will start that off. Anything I say, I do like Beast Morphers.
Tara says, "Engine Sentai, you're on drugs."
It's not as good as Engine Sentai Go Away, but I like it. I like that. It's nice.
Shall we continue the Beast Morphers conversation?
Yeah, go in.
Yes. So I guess let's say, what was everyone's initial thoughts when they announced Beast Morphers? Because let me tell you, I did not expect. Yeah, I didn't expect Go Busters. I thought it was Zyuohger.
I thought it was gonna be Key Ranger for sure. I was like, dude, we're getting Key Ranger.
Well, no, when I heard, because like I remember initially they announced the name, and I was like without suits or anything, and I was like, oh, it's Zyuohger. It's 100% Zyuohger. And I didn't hear the name at first. So I heard the name first, and I was like, oh, I hate the Zyuohger suits. So this is gonna be another season I'm skipping.
Nice, but
because at that point, yeah. At that point, I had been skipping Ninja Steel. I regret not skipping it in the end. I
finished it, sadly.
I mean, I regret starting to watch it because like I was avoiding it at first, and then. But this isn't about Ninja Steel. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I heard it was Go Busters, and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to go watch Go Busters again.
The hell?
And I was just
like, wait, they're going back. What?
Yeah, and then that was just initially when like it was Hasbro just buying the toys.
Yeah, exactly. I was terrified. I'm like, oh my god, Saban's gonna ruin my favorite Sentai. What the hell are they doing?
And then it was just like,
and then when Hasbro bought the franchise, I was like, oh, okay, so this might actually be good. We'll see.
Yeah, I was slightly optimistic.
I went back and forth multiple times between being skeptical and being
and yeah. Damn it. And then as things went on, I just hated everyone already acting like it was the greatest season ever, and that Hasbro was like, shit, like already like gods and everything. And I was like, guys, stop! Like,
I understood.
Sorry, I understood. I only called them more Hasbro overlords jokingly.
That's.
I mean, considering how many videos they take down, they may as well be.
That's true. Disney wasn't taking that many videos down.
Yeah, they took down like a bunch of Go Busters clips, which was really annoying. I'm like, you don't own that. You own the footage. You own the right to adapt that footage. You don't own that footage. That's not how that works.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So still owns that crap. I mean, if nobody wants to take it down, it's fine. But how dare they?
Anyway, for me, when I first heard about it, I was like, finally, Go Busters is going to be adapted. It's going to be a 3-character season where they could have equal development for each, and then once the 2 come in, they'll give as equal development for those 2 too. And I'm watching it now, and it's good, but not amazing. Because I think the acting itself, because I'm caught up now, I don't think the acting's bad. I feel like the direction is bad. They give how they direct the actors isn't that well done, and it just overall the whole season seems like it's going the right direction, but just not doing it the right way.
That's fair.
I honestly think this is the best season since RPM, but you know, ninja shit was a thing. So I
mean, I liked Dino Charge, so
I was not a big fan of Dino Charge. It's a very unpopular opinion. And I acknowledge that.
I also do not like just the set design. Really bothers me for some reason.
I don't know. I'm kind of digging the set design, but that's because it reminds me a little bit of SPD, especially like in the very first episode. In the very first episode, the cell that Devin gets thrown into, the door is identical to the doors from SPD, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. I like the set design. I like how much Hasbro is springing to recreate things and recreating the suits and everything.
Apparently, they're a mix of the suits from the original show and the suits from the Dobutsu movie. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but apparently they mixed and matched. I'm not sure how that works.
They probably just got the spandex. Because it wasn't like Go Busters originally leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably just took the spandex.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
They don't have the visors, obviously. I hated the visors from the Dobutsu movie, personally. Yeah. I don't like them. I
guess I should say my personal feelings about Beast Morphers first.
Yeah.
I remember just kind of being impartial to the
whole
thing and not really caring about what it was going to be. It was just like, alright, I know it's a new company, I know that they could do decent, let's see what they come up with. And I know the moment they announced Go Busters, I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. Welcome.
I think that was a lot of people's reactions.
Happily. We'll go for this all the time.
I feel like when I went into Beast Morphers, I was expecting a little too much just because how different it is, or like there's similarities for sure with Go Busters, but the tone of Go Busters is definitely more different than Beast Morphers.
Well, I don't want to say Go Busters is like depressing at times, but it kind of is at times.
It's more serious.
Yeah.
At times than, well, I can't really say. I haven't watched enough Sentai to say what's more serious and what's serious and what's not.
I know it's compared to Jetman a lot.
So
I haven't watched Jetman though, so.
And then for me personally, I've only seen the first episode, so I don't know anything past there. I like what they set up, and if I had a way to watch it, I absolutely would. I just don't have a way, aside from tuning in early, but I always forget.
And
That's
a
fair.
Time slot.
Yeah.
But 5 episodes in, they're
time
still
slot.
setting things up.
Yeah.
One of the things that are keeping me from seeing whatever the full picture is going to end up being is that they really haven't shown their full hand yet.
Yeah.
In a sense, because it feels like of stuff that they could potentially address or potentially leave alone, but we don't know if they're going to do that yet. Just so much waiting in the wings that presented with us. So, and then they've spent the next 3 episodes just kind of still without too much in the way of like outright reveals, but obviously we get that one shot of a certain future Silver Ranger's head and comes to pass.
I love it.
An Andatron addict has just crossed the screen.
I'll ask this. Are we getting Jay, or is it just a person?
I think we're getting Jay. Jay has been spotted in set footage. I know, spoilers now, people. I know it's been shown in set footage that, what's his name? Nate Silva? Very, very on the nose there, Hasbro. It's looking like he's the Gold Ranger, except there's been other things that I've heard people be like, oh, maybe it's Roxy, because she was wearing gold in a set photo.
There's literally leaked photos with Nate.
I know, but there's people are just being people.
We'll see, but
I hope they have the same,
what are we talking about, by the way?
relationship in Go Busters.
We're just talking about Go Busters.
Jay or Nate?
Feel about overall. Now, but yeah, I think it'll be Jay. Just the question is, who will they get to voice him?
Hopefully not a terrible person.
I think it would be
Yuri Lowenthal, who voices everyone and everything.
I mean, they already used Kelson Henderson for Cruz.
I mean, my idea was maybe Johnny Youngbush get a Power Rangers.
God, that would be perfect.
A Power Rangers alumni.
Imagine that. Get like
Dude, fucking Ichigo could voice him. That'd be great.
He would.
I don't know if
that
that's
would be
good
great.
though.
Hasbro, get on that.
The question
I don't know. I don't feel
would
like
be
Johnny Youngbosh would be goofy enough though. They need someone goofy.
the character of
I think Johnny Youngbosh could be.
That's fair. He has been in some goofier anime, but
Blue thinks Jay will be the Gold Ranger while Nate is Silver.
I don't feel like that would work.
That wouldn't work at all. I'm sorry, Blue.
Well, either way, one of them is going to be the Gold Ranger, but it's either going to clash with Nate's name or it's going to clash with Jay's.
No, I think it actually works well because he's gonna. I mean, if the rumors are true, which I mean, come on, let's be real. I don't see it not going down this way. He's probably going to build Jay, so his last name. I don't know. It kind of works for me.
I know a lot of people are thinking that the guy who Scrazzle is hiding from is Jay, which would make sense. We have Scrazzle's evil, so it would make sense that a good guy is coming after him.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that Vargoyle will be like the Neo Gryffindor suit from the Kyuger movie.
I think people are guessing it's going to be Enter Unite.
I hope not. They better not waste that on. They better not waste that on Vargoyle. They'd better save
what
that
is
for
it called?
Blaze.
No, it's not.
Enter. Yeah, it's Enter Unite. Escape is escapable.
Okay, there we go. I was confusing the two for a second. That's why.
Yeah. And then Messiah is Messiah's cell because we don't like to be subtle in Toei.
Wait, subtlety? What is that?
Subtlety doesn't work in this franchise.
How can Toei still exist after Geo blew him up?
That's fair.
That was the best thing ever, by the way. I'm not really liking Geo, but that was amazing. I love the .5s. They're hilarious.
Blossom.
The .5, I missed them.
That would never fly in America, by the way. We're blowing up Toei. No, absolutely not. That's never gonna fly. Not that it would, because Ryder doesn't come here. Thank God. They tried that once, and well, they tried it twice actually. Once it was terrible.
There's someone on one server I'm on who's like very determined to get Ryder, like, who just doesn't stop talking about it, and I'm just like, it's not happening. Just stop.
It's not happening. If it were to happen, they would screw it up. Dragon Knight is the best, the closest we came, and it got screwed over. Let's just move on.
I will say, unpopular
people who
opinion.
have seen Ryder adapt Ryder. Simple as that.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion. I would love it if they adapted the Gavin crossover.
Honestly, after Skyfire, absolutely not. I can't. What?
I could see Skyfire being like as a way to introduce that, so like the concept isn't completely unfamiliar when they bring in Gavin. That's my only thought process behind it.
And at the very least, that kind of, because now I guess maybe some Metal Heroes exist in some sort of Western format.
Yeah, that was my thinking. So they could do Gavin. I don't see them throwing Forza in though.
I think the best joke they can do with introducing Gavin is that he starts speaking in Japanese, realizes he's speaking Japanese, presses a button, now he's English.
That would be a great gag.
That would be good, actually.
Go Busters meets Big Bad Beetleborgs when?
That'd be a great cameo from a Japanese voice actor, too.
I would honestly love to see the
I'm back
Beetleborgs
again.
done again, but done a little better.
Oh god, not
I just think
Beetleborgs.
the aesthetic of Beetleborgs is pretty cool.
I really liked Beetleborgs as a kid.
Or
So
VR
for sure, it's
Troopers.
in a different context.
I discovered it when I was like 11, and I absolutely despised it. But that's just me. That was back, but then again, I was 11. So when I was 11, I went through a phase where like anything remotely childish was dumb. Like Jungle Fury, I hated when I was 11. Because oh no, it has a kitty theme song. I'm not watching that shit. I want to play Call of Duty.
I liked Jungle
I'm
Fury's theme song.
I love it too, but as a kid, I hated it, and
Yeah.
I'll
as a
also
kid, I had
always
stupid-
defend the Morphers. Fuck all of you who think otherwise. Sorry.
Well, Morphers are legit.
That's fair.
Honestly,
Well,
I've never liked the Sunglass Morphers. I wish they had kept the Geki Ranger ones, but the sunglasses are fine. It's whatever.
Do you think they wear when they're driving?
No.
Do they just accidentally morph because they're driving?
Yeah.
Just
No,
like,
that's
oh
what
wait,
they
I got.
Maybe that's
wait,
what
the
they got
sun's
the idea
bright.
of the Morph Embrace.
I'll
They got it from the awful Disney era sunglasses. Because we can't have morphers that punch.
Yeah.
No, that's too violent. I know the entire
No,
season's martial arts, but we can't have them punch to morph. That's ridiculous.
I'll just be
That is
quick
ridiculous.
in that sense. I don't like the Geki Ranger changers. I just don't care for them. I think the sunglasses are sleek and I think they're interesting. Simple as that. That's my
Fair enough.
feeling.
I personally prefer the changers, but I prefer Jungle Fury in every other aspect. I actually kind of hate Geki Ranger. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but
Yeah.
I don't like
Everyone's
that
hating on
season.
Hammer right now.
Can somebody tell me that
I don't care.
that these
I don't
Geki
care about your
Rangers take
opinion.
on Tarzan gets any better? Because
Absolutely
man,
not,
I saw
John,
one
it's
episode of
horrible.
Geki Ranger and I was just like, no,
No.
thank you.
Yeah.
I've seen mixed things about Geki Ranger. That's the only thing.
So, to try
Rio
to
and
lead-
Melee are great. That's about it.
Brandy, did you have something?
No.
Okay.
To get back on topic.
Let us. Are we done with like first reactions and likes?
I think everyone. Yeah.
Will we talk about Re-Soldier? Would that be too much?
No.
No.
That's next time.
Alright.
So I
No.
want people to discuss the things that they are not enjoying about Beast Morphers, whether it's the company behind it or the show or whatever.
Oh wait, let me get this. Let me get this rage out of the way
Oh
first.
my god.
I call next.
Let me get this rage out of the way first, because this is the only. For some reason, continues to bother me. Why the fuck do they have a cannon to initiate
Yes!
a fucking
Oh my God.
storm?
That drives me crazy.
What the fuck?
And they
the biggest problem I have so far, though, is Ben and Betty. I can't stand Ben and Betty. I'm sorry. People are like, "Oh my god, they're so great! They're the best comedy duo." I'm like, "You guys are fucking stupid. They're terrible."
Yeah, no, I was gonna talk. Do you mind if I talk about the Ben and Betty?
Yeah, I just had a rage. I just had a rage about the fucking cannon making the sword like slash. And I'm just like,
I hate that.
What the fuck? They could easily just make a fucking like special sword.
They have a sword. They have a sword coming.
I could have bought it yesterday.
They just bought them, but they didn't.
Brain this entire podcast. I could have bought it yesterday.
Okay, all right.
That's what we should have called this podcast.
Yeah. So, my problem with Ben and Betty is that they should not even be there. It would be way better if they made the comic relief be the Buddy Roids, right? Therefore, they'd get just as much development as the other cast members.
That's what.
And you wouldn't have just like a Bulk and Skull shout out. I think that humor is dried out.
Waste of space. They're annoying. They're comic. The only time I'll give them this: the stepladder gag in the first episode where Betty climbs down off the stepladder and she turns out to be really short. That I laughed at. But other than that, I hate every single moment they're on screen. I fast forward through most of the stuff they're in. And one time my DVR actually cut off the end of an episode, and it only cut off the Ben and Betty bit. Like it cut off like the end of one of their gags, and I'm like, thank you.
Okay, DVR looking out. Yeah, no, I can agree though. It should have been because the Buddy Roids were the comedic relief in Go Busters. So
they were. So you didn't need those two cadets.
No, you don't.
Just needed the Buddy Roids to be the joke. Because Cruz could have been like the person that is like pointing out every single flaw, and it'd be great on the writer's part.
Another thing I'm not really liking are the well, I like Roxy a lot. Roxy's great. She's got some really good charisma. I like her thing with Robbie. I'm not really liking Blaze so far.
Yeah, no.
You and I had a discussion about my problem with Blaze. I hate the rivalry between Devin and Blaze.
I like the rivalry. It needs to be played up way more. It needs to be played up.
My problem is Blaze just comes off as petty as fuck. I
don't know. I mean, they established that he was a douchebag, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's established though that like he knows Ravi and Zoe. Like he knew them, they knew him. I'm not gonna say Blaze and Ravi were probably best friends, but like they were probably close. That trio seemed close. So like it kind of bothers me that like the Blaze avatar is like going after a dude, like a random dude in his fucking karate class instead of like his former people he knew.
To me, it kind of makes sense. I don't know.
I'd rather get
think
like
it makes
Robbie
sense. I just
Zoe's like problems, like how they feel about Blaze, because I feel like it's all just been Roxy. Like I know he was a douchebag, but
he's fine. It makes sense to me because he's a douchebag. It just he seems like he'd be that petty. I just wish they would play up on it more. That's all. They haven't really played up on it very much. My biggest problem with him, though, is his actor. He's not Enter. I know that's unfair to expect Enter, but I'm sorry, I expect Enter.
No, I was expecting like at least to be a very snarky rival.
Not only
that's
that,
what I was expecting.
The actor just doesn't seem very charismatic.
The
actress has a lot of charisma. Like she has like a lot. Like you can feel like she's having fun with it. Blaze just doesn't seem like he's having fun with it at all. He just seems like he's reading lines.
Too hard to be serious.
Scrozzle is a better villain than Blaze. So
Blaze seems like the sort of entire shoot.
When he first debuted, I hated him, but after an episode, I'm like, oh, I actually like Scrozzle. I don't know how. I still start, which is funny because it's the Hasbro era now. So I think they're doing that on purpose. But another thing I'm not liking is I'm not really a fan of Zoe so far. I know a lot think she's great. She seems like a budget Shelby to me, and also I know this is really unfair to keep comparing it to freaking Yo. It's such a far cry, such a step downwards in my opinion.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
As Delta just
guys, hold on. Hold on.
Brains being he doesn't have things to say about
please wait.
I'm just waiting for everyone else to talk.
Yeah.
We are experiencing
I'm having issues with the stream. Please wait.
Okay.
So, how's your day? How's everyone's day?
Pretty good.
I think I said I saw Shazam, so that.
Sorry, are we back? Are we back? Can you guys all hear us? I just want to make sure we're good. Can you guys hear us? Hold on. I have you guys muted. I'm just making sure that the chat can hear. Chat, can you hear the stream? I really need to make sure. Ah, shit. No, perfect. Alright. We are back. Sorry for the delay. We were having big issues.
Tara, what server are you taking over?
Probably mine again.
Okay, so
Let's stay
on topic. Let's stay on topic.
So basically what everyone missed is that we all agreed that Yoko in the original Go Busters is hot. She's best girl. That's all we agreed on.
She's also just a much better character than Zoe. At least
yeah,
so far.
basically.
So,
yeah.
What else do I not like?
She seems a little too good at what she's doing because she dropped out. Brain pointed this out in his video, and like I don't want to copy off of him, but like I agree with it. She doesn't seem all that flawed for someone that literally dropped out of the program. Like she wasn't supposed to. Like she's a laundry girl. That she needs to be. She doesn't. They need to show her being more flawed than she is. She doesn't really have any flaws so far.
I agree. Yeah. I'd say that's like...
It feels weird. It's like, okay, if you're this good, she seems like a natural, so like, why did she drop out?
I think it's the same, like, it's the same thing that happened with Sarah in Ninja Steel, that she came off as too perfect, and then, like, when they tried to be like, oh, no, she's not perfect, it didn't work that well.
Can I have one thing off my chest? And then
sure.
maybe Brain could talk afterwards, but
maybe.
Maybe. All right. The ending of the most recent episode is basically saying to Devin, you know, your father might not love you, but he loves this part of you. But you can't tell him that because he still doesn't love you.
That's great logic.
I actually really liked the last episode. I thought it was great.
The last episode was good, except one thing. Why did the girl run out? Where was she? There was no setup for that event of the girl getting attacked.
It was plot convenience because they needed a way for Devin to impress his dad without him knowing. I don't know. It did seem really convenient.
One of those things. Where are your parents?
Do your parents love you in this show? Maybe not.
At least it's not as big. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a plot hole, but it's not as massive of a plot hole as why in the heck are Mike and Magna Defender in the same crater when they fell in a different... Okay, never mind, I'm not going to get into that.
You're going to do
That's
this?
We're going to bring up Lost Galaxy shit?
I like Lost Galaxy, just for the record. I'm not hating on it, I'm just pointing out that makes no fucking sense.
Only plot device.
Is everyone through with dislikes then?
Brain, you wanna... Brain hasn't even talked.
So... my biggest thing involves specifically, not because he's not a good actor. He's portraying his role very well so far. I mean, these are the best parents we've had in literally a decade. I mean, I guess it's not fair.
It's the only parents we've had.
Jaden's father is only in flashbacks, so we don't really know what... I mean, he didn't really care about Lauren, so he's probably a shitty father, but, you know...
He wasn't a very good actor anyway. Based on this flashback, he's not a great actor.
Involved parents. It seems that they're over-focusing on Mayor Daniels' involvement as a father, which has been a highlight to me so far.
I'm busy.
but they're not
I'm busy
focusing
right now.
on the mayor part of it. And the idea of being mayor and having to answer to the whims of the people, and the fact that he is the one that approved and helped go forward with this ranger initiative should make it so that he's a little bit more consistently tied to what's going on here. Because at the end of the day, the people don't know that approving this ranger project involves giant robots fighting in the streets, clogging up traffic lanes and ruining their commute, and maybe even squishing them one day. And that's going to cause complaints. And when those complaints happen, they're going to go to the mayor. But that hasn't happened so far. And we're always led to believe that the mayor has steadfast support of the Rangers, but there should be people, however unreasonable, that are complaining about this. If the mayor personally wants the Rangers to succeed and is on their side, he's got to address those complaints. So what I really want them to do, actually, is, might be risky, but if they do it legit, it could work, is make it so that the mayor has to run for re-election, and the guy that's running against him is against everything the Rangers are doing because of this. And it will be like a legitimate debate of accountability and responsibility. And the big question of, was switching to Morph X worth it if this is what's going to happen? Because the mayor was right once the Morph X stuff has been utilized. But he completely ignored that after the fact.
That's fair.
That makes complete sense and would make a really good episode if done correctly.
But they probably won't do that. Let's be honest here.
Probably won't.
No.
But wait, what if Kendall was in the series? Brain.
Then it would be number one.
Let's all agree here. Actually, Kendall might come back.
I have seen a few set photos. Oh my god, I'm just gonna die that episode.
That one subreddit that I've sent you, Brain, she's on there.
Yes, I know. I've seen.
Brain sees every night.
Close your eyes. You have Kendall in your mind.
Alright, sorry. My family keeps bothering me.
It's alright. Anyone else have any, like, complaints? I would say I think out of all three of them, the one I just least like is I don't want to say Zoe, because at least, like, she's cute and she has some charisma to her. I want to say Ravi, because I don't care that much about the whole Roxy thing. Like, it's not pulling at my heartstrings that much, and also,
I'm invested. I don't like his actor very much. His actor is very wooden, in my opinion. He's not like Neo Saban, but he's.
I also really hope it's not a recurring thing that just, like, he just continues to get caught in traps and, like, almost converted into an avatar. I'd rather that not be a recurring thing that happens.
I want Ravi to be more like the leader, but he isn't the leader type of guy.
I thought he was gonna become the leader.
Except it was really the way they chose a leader was definitely really stupid.
I disagree. I thought it felt natural to me.
I don't have a problem with it that much, because it's very true. Devin was the only one who didn't care.
He was the only one being mature. It just made more sense to me. And I like that they actually
say, though, as much as I like Devin, I hate the whole gamer thing. Very much seems like it's trying to appeal to, like, hey kids, Fortnite, right? Fortnite.
We like Fortnite.
Just real quick.
They haven't mentioned Fortnite, so I don't mind it. If they ever mention Fortnite or any battle royale game that he's playing, I'll hate it.
I don't think they have the money to mention Fortnite. That would probably cost them an arm and a leg.
They can make up their own battle royale game though, but they haven't so far, so I'm okay with it.
We don't know.
I don't mind it either, because it's not his only personality trait. That's my thing. If it was his only personality, like, oh, I like games, because if this was like Ninja Seal or something, it would totally be like that. But he actually has like way more.
Because also we don't know what games he plays, so it's not like.
I'm just trying to say something.
I was just gonna read off chat from earlier. Blue said, "No wanking in public. We have the basement for that. I mean, why do you think Hammer stays there?" A lot of people saying, "Brain goes to the corner, you're surrounded."
And I will slap the ever-living shit out of
Hammer, give me the Yoko Loops. Give me the Yoko Loops.
People are saying, "Go to the corner,
Blue,
you're
I will
grounded."
find you and hurt you.
Oh my god, Hammer! Do you need ice for that?
Jesus.
No, I'm fine.
Sorry, just had to point it out.
Oh my god, Brain! Like, oh my god.
Don't be such a prude, Blue. Come on.
Savage.
I do find
I won't say anything.
Weird
That's
that
fine,
they're
Blue.
trying
That's
to
fine.
make Ravi's situation like kind of like the emotional centerpiece of the character dynamics, except Ravi doesn't have any emotions. So
I wouldn't go that far. He's not like a horrible actor, but like he is a little wooden, especially compared to the other two. And it kind of takes away from some of the moments.
That's the problem. If Ravi
the very first
switch places, then you'd be able to get a sense for what that relationship might have actually felt like. But the way Ravi is portrayed makes it feel like there was never any love in that relationship, and they had no reason to break up anyway.
Plot twist. I'm just kidding.
No, yeah.
I like the character. I just wish they had casted someone else. They really needed to cast him.
Hammer.
Yeah.
Tara says you're temporarily dead to her.
Why?
I don't know. I can say though,
like Ravi?
I wasn't that excited at first for Devin, but I like the fact that he's very excited about everything. He loves being a ranger. I like that.
He has so much personality, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like when rangers are like excited and geeking out over like all the stuff they get to use. That's cool. That's kind of something I wish they had in Go Busters, that they got a minute to be like, we're fucking awesome.
To be fair, like
Devin is taking those opportunities.
Training for years.
Yeah. I like when Rangers and in Sentai they take that opportunity to just be like, wow, we're really cool. These like the things we're using are cool.
One of the few good moments, and no, I'm just kidding.
So
I was gonna make a joke, but
like, and it feels natural that like that thing, because it's an organization that like they're showing off what weapon, like what they need to train with.
Yeah, it's not just like Mick holding up a ninja star, like, hey, I have this new ninja star. Here's a toy you can buy.
That, and then Ninja Steel, like when they learn, like, oh, there's a claw mode, and the Morpher does all this, or the sword's supposed to do this, and like, I don't know, I never liked that scene, but it felt more natural in Beast Morphers that they did it. A lot of the stuff they try to do in Ninja Steel and they've like brought back up in Beast Morphers feels more natural.
Honestly, so far, I think Devin and Nate are the two season MVPs for me.
I agree. I like Nate a lot.
He's probably my favorite character, to be honest.
Great, yeah. He
has a crush on Zoe. It's adorable.
That moment, I was like, oh my god, Ranger ships can actually be fun again.
I can say though, I don't know if it'll actually happen. I could see it being like, I could see her letting him down easy.
I can see it being a one-sided thing, yeah, but it might. We don't know. We'll see.
Because like I'm assuming at least like he's supposed to be like teenager, and they're all not adults, but like she's probably a couple years older than him, or like supposed to be.
He does look it, yeah.
He does seem a little younger.
So I could see it them doing that her just being, yeah, no, sorry. And then I'm wondering. I remember
what's gonna happen. Although one direction I thought they could take it in is maybe it does happen, but like because they had the whole rule about Rangers not being allowed to date Rangers.
Yeah.
So maybe his crush like continues, and then he becomes the Gold Ranger, and he's really like he feels conflicted. He's like, crap, no, I can't.
Hey, Brain.
Now it would never work out.
There are some people talking of anarchy in your server in the chat. How do you want to deal with that?
Someone posted something very lewd in your server, Brain.
That's not okay.
Vamp, husband of Gia Morin.
They said, "Brain, if the server is on fire, blame Hammer."
Posted an Akiba Ranger gif of someone posted something very not appropriate.
What the hell did I do?
It's not appropriate what someone posted in your gen page.
Yeah. We don't.
I'll post it in podcast talk so you guys can see. I don't want to give it attention, but
we don't tolerate that.
That's a little lewd for your server, Brain.
I don't understand why. Is Tara joking? Because that has nothing to do with me. Like literally, I haven't been on the server.
So anyway, but yeah, one thing I'm wondering it will happen. I know in the audition tapes. There was a scene of the Red Ranger asking out the Yellow Ranger, and the mention of the Ranger can't date Ranger rule. So I'm wondering if they'll go that route of Devin and Zoe becoming a thing, and that might create conflict.
Maybe
because we know how much Power Rangers loves their love triangles. So I'm wondering if that might cause like either she'll let Nate down easy first. Or, like, he'll become angry at it, because I know we have some scenes in the Sentai of the Gold and Red Ranger fighting, so maybe that might be a reason why.
Oh, no!
No, Zoe Gate, no. Please,
they
no.
They could adapt that. I'm not saying I want it. I'm just wondering
if they go that
if
route,
that's
I'm so
still
off. I'm so
if
not on
that's
board.
still like a plan, because they still from those like audition scenes they kept the whole Rangers can't date Ranger rule.
That's fair, although they usually don't keep a lot of stuff from those.
So that's why I'm wondering if they'll keep that. I mean,
honestly, I would rather they just
Zoe have had some nice moments together.
I guess
like,
so. Honestly, I would rather they didn't, because I don't see why the Red Ranger can't just not. I don't understand why there always has to be a romance.
I
like shipping a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, but like I would love to see.
I'm not saying I don't disagree.
We don't need to ship every season.
No,
and we already have Robbie and Zoe. So
I'm just saying, because it was in the auditions, and they seem to have kept something from that audition of the Yellow Ranger being like, "Oh, what about the rule?" and the Red Ranger just kind of being like, "Nah, fuck that, let's date." So I'm kind of wondering if either they've maybe translated that to Nate and Zoe, or Devin and Zoe is going to happen, and then they're going to use the footage from Go Busters of Gold and Red fighting to, unfortunately, it being them fighting over Zoe.
I hope to God that doesn't happen. Please no. I will literally rage quit the show at that point.
Hasbro don't want to hear what I gotta say if they go down that dark path.
Oh God, no.
So, Brain, that GIF that someone posted in your server, opinion on that?
Where is this?
I posted. Check Podcast Talk. I reposted it there.
I've seen it.
What channel is it in?
Podcast Talk.
Podcast Talk.
No, I'm talking about on.
Oh, it was on General.
In general.
I don't know how appropriate that is. I mean, Delta even said nice. Yikes.
Yeah, that's two words that could easily be, mispronounced.
It's whatever. It's like not even that lewd, so.
That's fair. But,
I thought it was a lot worse. That's not honestly that bad.
So yeah.
Overhyped.
What do we like though from Beast Morphers though? Like individually, I feel like we've kind of peppered it in, but I think we've all praised Devin.
Devin and Nate are just the season MVPs. I love that Cruz is voiced by Kelvin Henderson.
The references are great.
I like that we don't have to end the conflict in 20 minutes. We can actually let it continue into the next episode.
In the newest episode, I like the fact that the bad guys are like, let's just attack them while they're like distracted. Yeah, basically.
Let's be smart.
I like the fact that they're allowed. I like the fact that they're not scared to make the Rangers lose. Like, they're like, Blaze and Scrozzle got like a ton of like Morphex last week. Like, they kind of lost big time.
Just get a ton of Morphex.
I like the fact that they're.
And nobody's like worried about it at all. Commander Shaw's like, oh, they only got 200 kilometers, or not kilometers.
Yeah, kilometers. Like, that's how you measure tons, right?
That's how you measure weight in kilometers.
Oh gosh.
The metric system. That's not what that is.
Everyone message Brain about kilometers.
Oh boy.
Everyone just start tweeting him.
Everyone in the EU is gonna hate Brain now.
Hashtag weight in kilometers.
Brain just lost all his fans in the EU.
Europe hates you now. Goodbye, Brain.
Yeah, Brain servers. Brain server is definitely on fire now.
It literally is on fire. Someone posted a SpongeBob gif of him like blowing out fire in the Krusty Krab. Actually, his house. Yep. I can't tell. He's wearing his uniform. Yeah, he's wearing his uniform. So yeah, that's not good.
To be fair, it's also Delta leading this, so surprisingly not Tara. We might talk about Shin Kendra eventually to get her on here.
Honestly, I just really like the season so far. I think it's.
I like it too.
The season's gotten me back into Power Rangers, so I would say it's pretty decent.
I'm actually excited every Saturday to wake up. I'm like, oh my god, there's a new episode of Beast Morphers I can watch. Like I'm so excited every week, and that hasn't happened.
Imagine
in, like,
that,
years.
right? Imagine
being excited. Like Ninja Steel, I dreaded it. I was like, oh my god, do I really want to watch? No,
imagine
I'll watch it on
not
Monday.
groaning when you have to watch the next episode of a show. Because that's what I was doing when I had to force myself through the tired, tedious slog of Ninja Steel just to make a video about it.
Oh man, that was a bad season. But anyways, I just really like the season so far. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. My only real complaint is just that it's not much like Go Busters, but that's fine. I like originality. It was my favorite Sentai, so I was kind of hoping they would adapt it a little more closely, but it's whatever.
I love how the last minute was Brain saying Ninja Steel was a fucking dragon, it's the worst, and Hammer's just like, yeah, I'm sorry. Anyways, let me talk about what I think.
I mean, yeah.
Instead of showing any kind of pity.
We've all talked about Ninja Steel so much at this point. I'm just done. I'm just done talking about it. Like let's just move on.
Sorry, I just needed to go
back
back
and deserve any more attention, in my opinion. It just needs to die.
Sorry, I just needed to call attention to that at least. Anyways, here's me.
I like Beast Morphers. I think if it keeps going the way it's going, it could definitely get up there on the favorite season list. But
I don't know about that much, but it's definitely.
I think it also needs to be careful because it does have some problems, and it could also get very predictable.
It does have a little bit of it. It has a tiny hint of that Ninja Steel like that Neo Saban bad taste in my mouth. Like it still has a little bit of hint, like the Ben and Betty thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that they use the exact same music as Victor and Monty, which is admittedly it's the Bulk and Skull music, but you get the idea. Just the fact that they used that soundtrack, like it's just like it still feels a little bit like Neo Saban to me, at least in terms of Ben and Betty. The rest of the season doesn't. In fact, that's one of the reasons I don't like it. Like, I don't like Ben and Betty because they feel so Neo Saban in a season that's like anything but so far. That's just me though. Anyway.
I agree. I
feel like I'm talking too much. Someone just cut me off.
Shit on Ben and Betty a lot, but
they must be stinky.
There are people that want them to be Rangers, and I'm like, I will tolerate it if it's a one-off, and if it's anything more than a one-off, I am done with the season.
Because
they both transform into the green one.
No, there was like the whole thing was like, one of them wears green, one of them wears black. There is a Black Ranger suit and a Green Ranger suit. So people are like, no, please no. I mean, there's also technically a pink cat too.
Well, she didn't have a suit.
They could make one. Let's be honest here. Hasbro has clearly shown they don't give a shit about having to make a suit.
To go that route.
That's fair. They've used they've used stock footage so far, but a lot of the footage has been original. So Hasbro has definitely proven that they're not lazy. They will make original stuff,
which I like.
Yeah, I like that. Also, I mean, I kind of don't at the same time because like it's my favorite Sentai, and I want more of stuff from Go Busters to be used. But at the same time, like I don't want it to be the exact same either. They just got to find a nice balance. I wish the spy theme was carried over a little more, but it's whatever. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with the quality of the story. And so far, the story, I'm actually kind of on board for it, so it's cool.
I think a lot of the seasons.
I'm not going to like it as much as Go Busters, but I'm really liking it so far.
Grid Battle Force actually gets called out for the skeletons they have in their closet.
I agree.
Blaze and Roxy's parent. About anything that's going on right now.
A lot of people have been theorizing that Nate maybe accidentally created Evox, and I actually hope that becomes a thing because that would actually be really interesting.
It would be.
I'm
kind of wondering, like, they haven't really hinted like where the fuck he came from, so
yeah, it's weird. Evox hasn't really done much, especially in the second episode, which is funny because it's literally called Evox's Revenge, and he literally does nothing in the entire episode.
It's the revenge of, yeah.
I know we already covered stuff we like, but another thing I'm really liking so far is just, like, we're not rushing to get the Megazord at all. In fact, we're actually, I think this might be, like, the longest we've gone in a season in terms of Power Rangers without the Megazord. Like, we're really building it up, and I like that a lot. Of course, they did that in Go Busters, too, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
I love Ace so much. I love seeing that every week. Or the Racer Zord, you know. I call it Ace because that's what I know.
So, Brain, opinion on things?
I kind of
opinion, like anything?
I wish the idea of not blowing up monsters was more tied into what I was talking about before in terms of accountability, because that would have been a pretty easy to do. where it's like people are like, oh my god, the streets and buildings are blowing up. Stop blowing up the robots. And the mayor's like, all right, guys, you got to tone it down this fighting. And then Devin's all like, all right, guys, let's take out this monster robot or whatever and causing more damage than we have to. And
I'm so excited for the upcoming episode because I know what they're adapting, and I'm really excited for it because it's one of my favorite episodes of the Sentai. Anyway, continue. Sorry. I feel like I'm talking too much. Keep going.
Oh, that was kind of it for that point.
I don't know. Any like anything that you anyone hasn't talked about, Brain, that you're thinking? Like
awkward silence.
I haven't really seen that much from Commander Shaw and Ravi as a parent ranger dynamic.
We haven't seen a lot of Commander Shaw in general. Like, she's like giving them orders and stuff, but we don't really know a lot about her as a character.
Yeah, so
I'm kind of wondering if they could possibly reveal that maybe she's a scientist, maybe she created Evox, as much as that would be like a Dr. K type thing.
That's the thing that like would be with Nate. Like I would love to see that because it'd be like an accidental Dr. K. Because Dr. K, well, I mean, she accidentally released Venjix, but she made it on purpose. She was forced to though, but that's not the point. I don't know. It'd just be an interesting. Another thing that the direction that they could go, but I doubt they will, is they could have Evox be Venjix because he was in Scott's Morpher still, so he could easily just like escape cross dimensions and like I don't know, infect another program and then become Evox. That would be neat. They probably not going to go that route though, because we don't really do sequel series in Power Rangers. No. For good reason. It probably wouldn't work out very well.
Let's talk about that though, because a lot of people keep bringing this up. What's people's opinions on an RPM crossover? I don't think it would happen mostly because you know
it would be awesome if it could happen, but it's not.
A lot of the actors wouldn't come back.
Pretty much all the actors,
especially Yellow.
They've all moved on now.
Let's say they don't. I
don't mean like real
back...
TV, like Power Rangers isn't real TV, but like they're like big time actors now. Like it would be impossible to get them all back. You might be able to get like maybe one back, but even that's like
they could probably get like Mike Jin back.
Mike Jin is like doing great on
him back because he's
on Twitch.
Because he's under Union and Power Rangers isn't right now.
I could see them maybe getting like Dr. K back. Just to be like, oh hey, Evox is like this. Let's say this. Not a crossover with the team, but maybe.
Apparently, we're getting some kind of Dino Charge crossover because there was a leak. Yeah. There was a leaked photo set of the Vivix.
How would we feel if there was? They continued the Venjix thing, but obviously the team isn't met. Like they'd be mentioned, but they don't appear.
I mean, if you were going to do it, that's the only way you could really... If they were going to bring back Venjix, that's the only way you could really do it. You couldn't really make it a full-on RPM sequel, because it just wouldn't work.
If they can't bring back any RPM Rangers, then better to just leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave it alone. And besides, like, we don't have the same voice actor.
Again.
I mean, they already have another voice actor for Evox, and like he's nowhere near Venjix. I mean, he's a good actor. Like I like his voice is just fine, but like Venjix's voice is so much different, so much distinct. Like it just wouldn't work, honestly.
I agree.
That is my favorite villain voice in all Power Rangers, by the way. I love Andrew Lang. He's great. Even when he came back in Megaforce, I was just all over it because like that was a terrible season, but like he came back as the Messenger in like the last episode of like the first season, and I was like, yes, it's Andrew. It's Venjix, kind of. He's in a terrible body, and he's a terrible character, but it's Venjix. And that's all I care about. And then he died. And I was like, yeah, I'm turning this off now, goodbye.
So, final thoughts, right?
We're getting about that time, but... So, RPM crossover, Brain, what do you think?
Well, other than the fact that it would probably be unfeasible, I just feel like going Clash of the Red Ranger route, where... if you reference RPM, but can't do anything really sizable with it, then it's just going to alienate people and have the opposite effect of incorporating that part of the lore into it.
Yeah.
There's also just the fact that RPM... Sorry. I thought you were stopping.
and if the Dino Charge crossover does materialize, then that's really all I need. Thankfully, they know to bring back that team and not like just take the previous season's team and give them a crossover, because I would have heavily considered just skipping that.
Anyway, what I was saying when I interrupted Brain on accident, I thought he was done because he paused. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off like that. But, like, the RPM crossover, not only would it not be feasible because you can't get any actors back, even if you could get the actors back, RPM aired 10 freaking years ago. Kids aren't going to remember it, and I know that we like to think that the show is just for us, but it's not. It's for kids at the end of the day, and if they don't understand, like, they wouldn't understand a team from 10 years ago. They just wouldn't. So, like, they wouldn't know. It just wouldn't make sense, to be honest. It would be great if it could happen, but it's not going to happen. Let's just be real. And if it did, it wouldn't make sense. Kids would be like, what who's Venjix? What's this? Unless they, like, re-air RPM or something, but they're not going to do that.
Venjix is the one immortal me!
Alright, calm down there, Brain.
Any other thoughts?
I can say, though, I would love... I think it would be cool to do... if they could do the RPM crossover, because I would like Scott to get a redemption, because you mentioned Clash of Red Rangers. I thought he was such an asshole in that. Like,
that was not Scott. That was
being like looking down on them because, oh, they don't have technology. Like, dude, what the fuck?
That was just bad writing, honestly. Like, I don't consider it, like, that's not canon, honestly. Let's just forget that.
Funny thing is,
strike it from the record, because Scott had an amazing wrap up.
Scott.
That's sad.
Right before RPM, because I was late to RPM.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
So Scott was like,
my thing with Clash of Red Rangers is they managed to take an awful
asshole.
Right?
I know. That was actually my first introduction to Scott too, if I'm not mistaken. But thank God for RPM. But anyways, like, I just love the fact of that Clash of Red Rangers. I love the fact that they took a Sentai movie that was really bad and they made it even worse. So, like, how do we make Shinkenger versus Go-Onger even worse? Oh, I know. Let's not have, like, anyone but Red show up, and also let's have bad writing.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, but that was a given because it's Samurai.
Happens. Any other thoughts? Or is that pretty much
I
it?
think overall for the first 5 episodes, Beast Morphers is good. I think I'll still always prefer Go Busters, but I think Beast Morphers.
I'll always prefer Go Busters, but I'm loving Beast Morphers more.
To redeeming the franchise, because
it's definitely a step in the right direction.
I could, but again, the problem is I want to see how, because there's obviously still going to be that after episode 8 that's what's it called, the fucking hiatus. Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how that will impact.
Will they address it like Dino Charge, or will they just not do it?
Because I know a lot of people will be like, people lose interest after the hiatus. So
especially kids, they probably don't even understand the hiatus. They probably don't understand what's going on, because it's not like they tell everybody, "Hey, it's going on hiatus." No, it just does.
Yeah. So I think that will be very much what makes
it's going to be a bummer. That's the thing, though. The season's good, so it's going to be a bummer. Like with Ninja Steel, it was like, "Oh my god, thank God we get to have a break." But with this, it's going to be like, oh my god, the break sucks. I want it back now.
I think it'll very much...
one more thing I'd like to mention, and I don't mean to hate on it, because it's at least better than Ninja Steel's, but the opening is terrible. I was okay with it at first, but every time I listen to it, I like it even less. It's not good.
I think it's okay.
I hate the auto-tune. The auto-tune is what kills it for me. I like parts of it, but I'm glad it's 30 seconds. Because, I mean, I'm starting to skip it anyway, but, like, before I was like, I had the mindset of, well, it's only 30 seconds, I'll listen to it, I won't skip it, because it's only like 30 seconds. They uploaded an hour-long version of it to their YouTube channel, and I'm like, why? Why would anyone want to listen to that for an hour? Even if they like it.
Do that. What's the?
I don't know where they did. And it has like a bunch of like a. This is under-exaggerating, but it has like 1 million views or something like that. It has, I don't know, it's pretty well viewed. People, for some reason, wanted to see that. I'm not sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Kids with too much time, but also we're adults with too much time, so...
That's yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, anything else?
I'm trying to think of stuff. I feel like I've been talking too much, but I'm also trying to think of anything
That's
I missed.
alright.
Brain? Opinion?
I don't know. It feels like might be a little too late for them to salvage my personal concerns of Zoe as a character. Her launching point was, of course, that she didn't quite make it to the Ranger role.
That's what I was pointing out earlier.
Yeah, as Hammer mentioned, that it just feels really disingenuous when that's supposed to be her launching point, but at the same time, as everyone else, and even held her own against Roxy in a one-on-one, which makes absolutely no sense. That should have been her biggest loss.
One thought that I had maybe was that she dropped out for another reason, but that doesn't really make any sense either.
I didn't think she dropped out, though. I thought she said she just wasn't picked for it.
Well, she could have just said that, but I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense anyway. It's just a theory, because you're right. It doesn't really make sense that she's cut from the program, yet she seems perfectly fine. In fact, she seems like a better fighter than Roxy, to be honest. Not that Roxy's like horrible. She just, I don't know.
It's like when Ravi was controlled because he was overheated, he couldn't even hit her. And Ravi's been training his whole life for this. Maybe.
To be fair, that was probably the fault of the stock footage, because that was stock footage. But still.
Yeah, there's just like stuff like that is just.
Like, I understand why they toned down that scene, but that scene was so much better in Go Busters because like Ryuji literally like murdered that monster. He beat the ever living crap out of it. He threw it up in the air. He put his sword up, and then it landed on the sword, and it went through its back, and it was amazing. They
should have adapted that.
It was brutal.
Verbatim.
It probably would have been a little too overboard, but the overheating it was more dramatic in Go Busters. It also helps that they used it more than once because we haven't seen it since that episode.
All in all, I just wish there was a little more attention to detail in terms of how they fight, because in theory, all 3 Rangers should be in like 3 completely different areas. Like Spunky, but not nearly as skilled. Ravi should be like technically proficient, and Devin should be like talented and headed, but not like as like technically refined as a fighter. But
I think how they should have done it was have. Yeah, their fighting styles are very similar. I think what they should have done is they should have had Ravi be like more like the strategic one. He's not necessarily the best fighter, but he's like the most strategic one. And then you could have Devin be the best fighter, because we saw him kick the ever living crap out of Blaze in the first episode. And then you could have Zoe be the clumsy one.
Yeah.
And then you could have it like reverse Ziggy, but no, we got to have this weird thing where she's perfect, but she didn't make the cut for whatever. Maybe there's a budget cut. I don't know. Maybe there were budget cuts. Maybe that's why she's not in.
Oh, well.
Because it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with her skill. That's all I have to say anyway.
Yep.
I do agree. I think that's my biggest problem is because I think that's also just recently in Power Ranger seasons they've tried to make the female Rangers seem perfect.
That's a problem that a lot of writers fall into. It seems like with female characters, they make them too good at stuff. Not that I'm not trying to be like sexist or anything, but like. I want that.
Yeah,
I feel like strong female characters, you need to write them even.
I think it's a bit connected to it because I think they don't want to like they don't want to like make them seem too weak in case there's a a controversy. Yeah, they don't want to risk a controversy, so they end up going overboard about it. And I think it happened with Shelby.
I think you could have her be flawed without making her like be the girl. You know,
happened. Yeah, it happened in Ninja Steel 2.
That's what's great about Shelby, though. She started off completely imperfect, and she wanted to prove herself. And the whole point was like Kendall like literally flat out told her in episode 2. Why the Energem chose you, I'll never know. Like that is Shelby's starting point. And she only grows from there. That's how you do it right there.
I just love... That's one of the few things I really loved about Dino Charge. They had, like... I'm not saying this was, like, their intention, but it kind of came off as, like, a racist conflict between them for a bit. Kendall's like, you're just a waitress. And I'm like, no, did they just go there? I don't think that's what she was talking about. I think she meant something else.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, Kendall grew and didn't stay there, but... I don't know.
Yeah. I think
like
the problem is that at this point she's already at like the end of Dino Charge Shelby, where she basically is perfect at everything.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. You can't start out.
I mean, like, the thing in episode 3 is that, like, her plan didn't work right away, but it wasn't because of anything she did, it was because of the people. I thought that was really stupid. What?
Yeah. I don't know.
Any other last thoughts?
I know I'm good.
It's a good season. I think it does have some, I don't want to say problems, but it has some things that could screw things over.
I hear Judah Bear.
But
Yeah,
I hope
I can't get him out of here.
So, Brain? Thoughts on Beast Morphers?
Last thoughts.
It's one of those things where
What?
in the season, which I like,
You're gonna
because
sell me for toys?
with Ninja Steel, you knew it was going to be crap the second you finished episode 1. But with Beast Morphers, they're being a lot more patient about things, letting things play out and develop in a certain way. It'll end up being... I don't think I'll have a good read on what the season is in terms of overall quality, really until the season is over, and that's more than I can ask for, I guess.
You know, I like that music you turn on.
Yes, no, not right now.
It's part of the podcast, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it can go either way at this point. It started out strong. It's starting out strong, but I think it,
It's too early to really tell.
Yeah, it's only 5 episodes in, and we have technically 40 more. We have 35 more episodes, maybe more. I don't know if they do Christmas and Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see
So-
what happens.
Really wish we could do away with those.
So,
Those are so stupid. They
So,
never go well.
Not like when Robo Knight saved Africa?
Don't go there, Brian.
Fucking what?
Don't go there.
When did that? I
Hey.
don't remember Mega Force enough. What? Can we just go into that real quick?
Robo Knight has a weird relationship with black
Dude, you
kids. I don't
cannot
know what
stop coming
Mega
up
Force
here
is
and messing
thinking.
What the fuck? How did Robo Knight save Africa?
Just got mailed to Africa. I don't even know which country, and he was just there talking to them about the Power Rangers, and they all spoke English for some reason. It was so
It's gonna be the
weird.
time Ryan literally got kidnapped by Brock
yeah, I
in the
really have
stupidest
to...
way possible.
Oh my god, there is. It actually exists. It actually exists. Robo Knight saves Africa with Christmas.
It's still better than the Ernest movie.
I really have to work on wrapping this up, so if you have last thoughts,
Alright.
please.
Anyone else final thoughts?
I mean,
So Brain can
I don't
go
really
take
have
care
anything
of
else to
his
say. It's
server.
good. It's a really good season. So far, I just want it to stay the way it is,
Yep.
and maybe even improve a little bit. Like,
Yep.
it has some areas to work on, but it's... Don't turn that on right
We know what you're trying to say, so... Alright,
Sorry,
Well,
my
thank
baby
you.
brother is
thank you to those
really annoying.
who stuck around for the whole stream. We really do appreciate it. At our peak, we had 15 viewers, so...
Yay.
I think that's more than we've ever gotten, but I don't know. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. This has been Behind the Bite, episode 10. We'll try to be back
Yes,
in 2 weeks with Ryu Soldier shit.
Yes.
So cool.
I don't know who we'll have on. We might have Hammer on.
We'll see what
Soldier.
happens.
I
So, thank you guys for tuning in. You'll be able to see the
Yeah,
recap
you don't-
shortly on the channel. So, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you again.